2022, scientists at Vrije Universiteit Amsterdam publish a study that changes everything. They have found microplastics in human blood. Not trace amounts, detectable concentrations, in 77% of the people tested. The response from the plastics industry was silence. The response from regulators was concern. The response from governments was further research is needed. Further research was not needed. The research already existed. Within 12 months of the blood study, the findings accelerated. Microplastics were found in human breast milk, then in fetal placenta tissue, meaning particles were crossing from mother to unborn child, then in human lung tissue, then in 2023 in human heart tissue extracted during open heart surgery. Particles of plastic inside a beating human heart. In patients who had never worked in a plastics facility and had no unusual exposure history. They were just alive, in 2023, on Earth. Here's what they weren't telling you. The plastics industry had this data. Not in 2022, not in 2010, in the 1970s. Researchers working within industry-funded programs had documented microplastic particle migration in living tissue decades before the public heard the term. That research was never published. It sat in internal archives until investigative journalists working on the same UCSF document project that uncovered the sugar and recycling industry papers found it in 2021. The documents show industry scientists raised concerns internally about long-term biological accumulation as early as 1972. The response was not further study. The response was to ensure the research did not enter the public domain. Production continued, expanded, accelerated. Global plastic production in 1972 was 50 million tons. Today, it is over 400 million tons annually. Single-use plastic, the primary source of microplastic contamination, was aggressively marketed throughout the 1980s and 1990s as the industry simultaneously sat on evidence of what those particles were doing inside a human body. There is currently no known way to remove microplastics from human tissue. No treatment, no detox, no reversal. The particles found in heart tissue during surgery were embedded. The surgeons could not remove them. They closed the chest and moved on. Every person reading this has microplastics in their blood. The studies are unambiguous on that point. The only variable is concentration. The 1972 documents are in the UCSF archive. The blood study is published in Environment International. The heart tissue study is published in the New England Journal of Medicine. They knew what the particles did. They knew in 1972. They chose 400 million tons a year anyway, and the particles are already inside you.